In 1386, medieval France was a place filled with rigid traditions, religious beliefs, and superstitions. The judicial system was incredibly different from what we know today, with a complex mix of secular and religious rules. Justice was often harsh and public, meant to set examples for others. Crimes were treated with utmost seriousness, and surprisingly, that included crimes committed by animals. In those days, animals weren't simply considered mindless creatures. They were seen as beings capable of intention and sometimes even malice. And when an animal did something harmful, they were often treated like any human criminal. Livestock, pets, and even insects were sometimes put on trial. That might sound bizarre, but to people in the Middle Ages, it made sense. Animals lived alongside humans, worked with them, and were part of their daily lives. So when a pig reportedly attacked a young child, the village decided it was time for justice to be served. The story goes that in 1386, a pig in the small village of Valais in Normandy was accused of a serious crime, attacking a young child, which resulted in the child's death. For the people in Valais, this wasn't just a tragic accident, it was a crime, and like any criminal, the pig had to face judgment. News of the attack spread quickly through the town. According to historical records, the pig was seized, chained and thrown into prison, much like a human prisoner would be, and the local authorities prepared for what would be the full formal trial. Medieval trials were serious affairs, and this trial was no different. The pig was brought before the judge in chains to answer for its alleged crime. It wasn't alone though. The pig was given a public defender, a lawyer tasked with representing the animal in court. The lawyer argued, probably with little hope of success, that the pig was not responsible for its actions. However, the townspeople saw this trial as a matter of public safety and morality. In the eyes of the court, the pig was guilty of an unforgivable crime. In medieval France, punishment was often harsh, and the trial of the pig was no exception. After deliberation, the court found the pig guilty of murder. The sentence? Execution. The pig was to be publicly executed, just as any human criminal would be. The records indicate that the pig was dressed in human clothing for the execution, which may have been meant to emphasize its guilt and satisfy the community's sense of justice. The people of Valais gathered in the town square where the pig was executed in front of an audience. This might seem shocking to us now, but in the 14th century, these public punishments were seen as necessary to maintain social order. The execution of a pig served as a warning, a symbol of justice fulfilled, even if the crime was committed by an animal.